Hello, my name's Stuart. I'm a father of a 6-year-old boy called Welwyn and a 2-year-old girl called Rosanna, and we as a family regularly use the East Hertfordshire Family Centre service. I've been asked by them to talk a little bit about reading and what we do as a family, so I thought I'd just share a few things and hopefully that might help some of you out with regards to reading. The reason why we read a lot at home is it gives us a chance to spend some quality time with our kids. Whether that's with me just father and son time or father and daughter time, or if it's all together, whether it just be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or even 30 minutes, it's just a time that we can be together, sharing books and having some quality time. And we've been doing that, and I've been doing that straight from birth. As soon as they were both born, we'll sit in the bedrooms together and we'll read books, and it's been wonderful. We'd have some great discussions about the pictures, the stories and the characters. We relate them to our own experiences, so thinking about what we've done as a family, places we've been, all those sorts of things. But some of the books that we do start off with and that I've used with both children would be things like simple first words books, loads of pictures in there, loads of discussions to have about all different things. That's a good one. Also just things like animal books. And we look at these regularly, and it's really helped to improve communication skills and language skills. So from early on, like I said, pointing to those pictures, asking questions about those pictures and animals and vehicles and things like that, and to naming things in the book. So as they get a little bit older, you can ask questions, you can ask them to find certain things. That's something that really works. As they do get a little bit older, we start asking more deeper questions about the books and having conversations about them. So using things just like who, what, where, when, how, why, could, should, would. Those little things can really help with getting a little bit more out the story. One of the main reasons we do reading, and when we do it most, would be for our bedtime routines. And I can't recommend reading before bedtime enough. After very busy days, it just gives a bit of calm and a little bit of relaxation before going to bed. It really settles the kids down. They know that, right, reading time's coming, now we're going to be a little bit calmer. And my little boy even said it sends him to sleep. So do it before bedtime as a definite winner. And also, it gives us adults a little bit of calm and a little bit of quiet after what could have been quite a hectic day. We are very lucky though. We do have 2 kids that do sleep through the night. I do think some of that is down to our bedtime routine, and it is consistent. And most of the time we will do stories before bed. Some of the books we do like to read involve pop-up books or maybe some flat books, like here we've got Dear Zoo. It just adds a little bit more excitement, especially for the younger ones. And I've done this book must be over 100 times with my little girl, and she still wants us to do it. Naming all the animals, colours in there, all those sort of things, and the repetitiveness of it is great. As they get a little bit older, and obviously you find interests that they're into, like this trains book, it's got pop-up bits and flaps everywhere. So my older boy, he loves this book, and we find out loads of different things about trains. So they don't all have to be storybooks. Like this is obviously not a storybook. This is a non-fiction book. But again, get just as much conversation and just as much enjoyment out of these types of books. Also, rhyming books. I can't recommend rhyming books enough. They're great as it helps kids with language and it helps them with rhyming, obviously. But things you can do is, you get them to finish the sentences. So because it's a rhyme, they know what's coming. And they learn the words to the whole stories. Like this is another one. This is one of my favourites. Jack and the Flum Flum Tree by Julia Donaldson. Very much all rhyming in there, repetitive, and it's great. And we have a good time with this one. We do read the same books over and over again because they like the familiarity of it. It's a bit like, when kids watch the same movie over and over again. Well, we do that with our stories because they like the familiarity, they know what's coming, but also they find different things that come every time they read it. They'll find little bits of things that they didn't notice before. So that's what we do. As children do get older, and like my boy now who is 6, who is starting to read a lot more independently, it's great to share the actual reading part of stories. Like anybody, he's not always in the mood to do reading, like especially his homeschool reading books. So sometimes it can be a battle. So we make a little deal, and it might be the fact that we do a page each, and that sort of works. We don't try and force any reading though with the older kids, because we don't want it to become a chore. We want it to be enjoyable and not battle. So we kind of say, okay, some nights we don't do any reading, some nights we do. I'd say little and often is better than nothing at all. But don't have a battle with it. Sometimes we try and read a book as a family rather than it just being one-on-one. I say we try to because our 2-year-old is more interested in jumping around the bed or jumping all over the book. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Obviously, like anything, life does get in the way. So we don't read every single night. It's not possible. Sometimes they're too tired. Sometimes I'm too tired. Sometimes it's just one of them where we don't read, we'll have a conversation and we go to bed. That's fine as well. You don't have to do it every single night. We do enjoy reading a lot though. It is something that we are consciously doing. And I would recommend doing it for your family as much as you can when it suits you. I hope some of those things help you with regards to reading. Thank you for listening.